Hello there, welcome once again to Living on Purpose. This is Fola Daniel at Delisi. Today, I want to talk about productivity through rest and recovery. Let me begin by saying that sometimes because we talk about hard work, people believe that hard work then means that you shouldn't rest in order to recover. It will be a grievous mistake for you to continue to work without resting. It will be a dangerous one for that matter for you to work and not plan or factor rest into the things that you've done. Now, I've shared before about how I sometimes try to do something even when I'm tired and I ended up doing rubbish, particularly when it comes to writing an article or writing a new chapter of a book. If I'm tired and I refuse to rest, I'll just notice that I'm beginning to write rubbish. And until I go to bed and get enough rest, I will not be able to write clearly or think clearly. So it's the same thing. If you want to increase your productivity, you need to factor in how much time you spend resting. I also need to say that sometimes resting is not necessarily about sleeping for long hours, but it could be about getting quality rest. Some people say that they are resting, but when they are resting, their television sets are on, they are resting with their smart devices right in front of them, and they watch something on their phone until they sleep off. That is not quality rest because those smart devices are interfering with the quality of rest that you're also getting. So if you want to increase your productivity, stop struggling when you're tired. Plan for when to work, plan for when to rest. It is not wise to work without resting. And like somebody keeps saying to us in an organization where I volunteer, if you do not rest, you will be late to rest. Now, I don't expect that you will be late to rest. And for those of you who didn't catch that, that simply means that if you don't rest, you are going to die. It is only somebody that is dead that is late to rest. So that's why they said, if you do not rest, you will be late to rest. So after you have worked for a while, make sure that you spend enough time resting. There are some people, especially because they have listened to coaches, they have listened to speakers tell them, I work for 17 hours, I work for 20 hours in a day, I don't go to bed until it is 2 a.m., I don't do this, I don't. So some people now believe that they have to work like that on a daily basis. The most important thing is to understand your own body system and rest when you have worked enough. It is a strategy for productivity. If you do not rest, you will not increase your productivity. There is no wisdom in continuing the job when you know that you're already tired. If you work a little today and you go back and rest, you'll be able to come back stronger. You'll come back refreshed. Like I said before, anytime I rest and come back to my system, I will always have clarity. I'll be able to write better. I'll be able to imagine so many things, and I can write for hours until I get tired. You see, what usually happens is that as soon as I wake up, I have more energy and it's easier for me to write for a very long time. So make sure that you are resting because rest is a strategy that helps you to increase your productivity. I've seen people who refuse to rest. If you refuse to rest, you can break down, you become sick, and then you start nursing sickness. Number one, you're spending more money on your health, you're spending more money to get better, and the work you want to do is not yet done. So you've lost time and you still need more time to get things done. Why don't you just apply wisdom by making sure that you spend adequate time getting the work done and you also spend adequate time resting? Whatever you cannot do today, if you drop dead, somebody else will continue that job. There are some people who say, oh, if I don't do it, no other person will do it. Listen, there is no such thing as no other person will do it just because you don't do it. I've seen organizations, multinationals, young organizations as well, where the leaders would drop dead and the next day the job will not even stop for a minute. I know of a CEO of a very popular bank in Nigeria who died over the weekend, one of the weekends in the year, and when he died the following Monday, the organization did not even stop for 1 second. The business continued. Now, of course, that was not related to rest issues, but you need to understand that if you don't rest to the point where you become sick, you are breaking down, you are not valuable to your organization anymore. You are not valuable to yourself. So one of the ways to increase your value is to rest as much as you need, so that you can come back refreshed, you can come back with better ideas, and you have clarity to do everything that you need to do. So rest is a strategy for increasing productivity. Rest is a strategy for lasting longer on the job. Anybody who does not rest will not last on the job. Anybody who does not rest will not last in the race. Go and take a look at long races like marathon races. You would notice that the strategy for marathon race is not to put in all the energy at the beginning. You try as much as possible to take it slow when you're getting started. The most important thing when you're starting a marathon race is to stay consistent in the race, and you're trying to catch your breath. But towards the end of the race, all the energy that you have now conserved, you now begin to use it at that point in time, because now you are racing against time, and that's how you win the race. I've been in a marathon race before, and I remember trying to run so much, thinking that if I should increase the gap at the beginning, then I'll be able to outrun so many other people. But the other guys were smarter. They knew that the most important thing to do was to conserve their energy at the beginning of the race, which is also a strategy for resting. So when they rested and they were just keeping their cool, keeping their pace, by the time I was worn out, that's when they started using up all their energy. So it's a strategy. Rest must be factored into everything that you are doing. If you don't rest enough, you may break down. And unfortunately for some people, it's not just going to be breaking down, it's going to be about dropping dead. I don't want you dropping dead. And the only way to avoid that is to make sure that you are getting enough rest even as you work. I understand that that work is very important. I understand that what you're trying to achieve is critical, but no matter how critical it is, your rest is still very important, and your rest is also pivotal to how you're going to be able to remain in the race and become more productive. So if you continue to do things without resting, one day you will not be able to continue, or one day your organization will tell you, it looks like you're tired, go and rest, and at that time it may be too late. I hope that you learn from this and adjust and learn and rest adequately. Thank you for listening. Please head on out to youtube.com/Fola Daniel Speaks.